Hello, everyone, and welcome to Solve Challenge Finals. What an incredible class of innovators we just met. I'm thrilled to be joined on stage, on this virtual stage, by our 2020 Digital Inclusion Solver, Naledi Magowe. Congratulations, Naledi. And secondary, thank you. And our Digital Inclusion Challenge Ambassador, Eric Yuan, founder and chief executive of Zoom. Welcome to you both. It's an honor to have you here.
Thank you, Alex. Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
Wonderful to have you. So let's get started. So first of all, Eric, so back in January, you accepted to become our challenge ambassador for digital inclusion. Thank you so much. And also tell us a little bit more about why digital inclusion matters to you and also matters to everyone, especially those who are disconnected.
Yeah, so Alex, you look at our culture and economy, by and large, so much of them are online today. So that a digital access essentially is a matter of equity. Right? Over the past year, extremely challenging, right? So the divide even became more apparent, right? The work that could be done remotely was able to continue. Also, the students who could find access to the internet were able to keep learning. But however, for those people who cannot have digital access or cannot find the internet infrastructure, they lag behind. At Zoom, our company value is care. Number one thing is about caring about our community. So, and also the Zoom can truly help people stay connected, can help the world. Also, we support a very low bandwidth environment. That's why, how to help the world, how to help people stay connected. I think digital inclusion is very important. Without that, no matter what kind of tools like a Zoom we have, and people, they cannot leverage, those tools to stay connected. That's why digital inclusion is so important, to me and also to Zoom.
Yes, absolutely. I think many of us found ourselves at the beginning of this pandemic running to Zoom to be able to continue our daily lives, especially our jobs. And thank you. So we received 430 submissions to the Digital Inclusion Challenge from 74 different countries. And you as an ambassador and some of your team, as well as our challenge leadership group, our judges, had the harrowing task of narrowing down these hundreds of submissions down to a final 7. And so before we chat with one of the 7, incredible 7, Naledi, tell us a little bit about what about these solver teams gives you hope that we can bridge the gap and work towards digital equity.
So the way I look at this, look at the number of submissions, right? I think 430, right? And also across 74 countries. I think the number is just inspiring. More than 400 submissions. That's just amazing. Also look at the coverage, over 74 countries, submitted. I think look at the quantity and the quality. I'm just so excited, and especially it's hard, for the leadership team, right, to decide the final 7 solutions because the quality is so high. And with that, I'm very excited. I think, it will set it up a great tool, for the future, solve program. I think pretty sure in the future, more and more submissions and the quality also will be even higher, because every time you see all those submissions, right, how to help the digital inclusion and online education. One of the finals, if I recall correctly, is Hello World, right? And they partner with local communities, right, to build up, solar powered, Wi-Fi enabled education hubs. Those are great innovations.
Yes, absolutely. And let's talk now with one of the winning solver teams, Naledi Magowe from Brastorne. And so Naledi, we just heard your pitch just earlier on, and Brastorne is about connecting the unconnected across Africa, regardless of economic status. And To do that, you use only a feature phone. And you discussed in your pitch, you talked about agriculture and the Magri platform, connecting farmers across Botswana and the DRC. But could you share also with our audience how Brastorne is supporting disconnected Africans working across lots of other sectors, especially African youth?
Sure. So at Brastorne, we meet unconnected rural Africans right where they are, and that's on their feature phones. And what we do is we connect them to the opportunities and advantages that are provided by the internet. So our ecosystem enables these users to access information that can improve their incomes, their health conditions, and give them access to legal services, for example. And how we do this is that we do this without the need for mobile data or Wi-Fi. And to add to this, over 85% of our users are women, and over 65% of the mobile store owners on our platforms are youth.
Wonderful, that's great. Going back to you, Eric, I think what we see and hear from Naledi's work is that connectivity is not just about accessing the web and accessing internet. It's about accessing critical information. It's about education. It's about healthcare. It's about jobs. And obviously, we spend our days now during this pandemic on platforms such as Zoom. But would love to hear a few examples where you have seen digital inclusion be really a conduit for equity across the world.
Yeah, Alex, yeah, you're so right. I think there are so many very creative use cases, right, around the Zoom platform. I think first of all, I would say digital inclusion already helps, break down geographic barriers. For example, it used to be the companies, they can only hire talents, right? And, those who probably live very close to their headquarters. Now you can hire anyone, any talents all over the world, right? You can, because the talent, they can leverage tools like Zoom, they can work anywhere, right? So that's very important. Also, look at the K-12, schools, right? Last year, when we realized the pandemic crisis, hit us, so we offered a free service, to more than 125,000 K-12 schools around 5 countries. Essentially, we wanted to help those K-12 students, they can keep learning online, right? The tools like Zoom for sure played a big role. Also, we built a platform, we can allow third-party developers and partners to build all kinds of applications upon our platform. We recognize those very creative, startup company or the organizations to build the application upon our platform. We also have, like innovation awards to recognize community leaders, breaking digital barriers to improve educational equity. Like 2 examples. One is Kabaku Academies, right? They equip young people in Africa with the skills to fight youth unemployment and gender inequities, through project-based experiences. That's one example. Another example is called Open Up Resources. They help to increase equity in K-12, education by making, top-rated curricula, accessible to all districts and schools. Just some example like that. Again, we have an open platform. A lot of very creative, young entrepreneurs or the startup companies, they can build all kinds of applications or to introduce new use cases, upon our platform to help the digital inclusion.
Wonderful. Yeah, absolutely. Back to Naledi. So we have social entrepreneurs and aspiring innovators who are tuning in today. Many of them are youth, and they're coming from all over the world right now. And I know that they would love to hear a little bit about your journey. You recently reached over 1 million users, which I'm sure is a big milestone. But if you can return to the start, and I guess when you had 0 users, what first drove you to develop Brastorne and to really think about a tech solution to the challenges facing your community in Botswana?
Well, it seemed wrong that in our part of the world, sub-Saharan Africa, household incomes are some of the lowest in the world, while mobile internet prices are the most expensive in the world. So the disparity is really unforgivable, right? I mean, the internet is about access, and this is a basic human right. And so many people, including people that I know personally and some family members of my own that don't have it. So we've been blessed enough to have seen the power of being connected, and we couldn't unsee it. So what we did is we made it our purpose to share it with those who are most vulnerable in our communities.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so Eric, love to hear your advice as well. Today, we are launching SolveEd Youth Innovation Challenge, which is open to young people aged 24 and under. And it's designed to spark a sense of agency in young people everywhere, encouraging, inspiring, and supporting them to become problem solvers in their community and the world. So going back to your own days, when you got started up, what advice do you have for young people to get involved in digital inclusion or other big challenges that we face? And what advice do you have for them?
Yeah, Alex, I'm a huge fan of Nike, right? I wear the Nike t-shirt, I wear the Nike sneaker. In particular, I like Nike's slogan, just do it. But digital inclusion is so critical, right? And don't hesitate, don't wait, just do it. Another thing is you also want to make sure what you're doing is very sustainable. To make sure your idea, your company is sustainable, please take a step back to truly understand what's the pain point the world or the community they are facing. Understand the root cause, make sure your solution can truly bring a sustainable value to the society, to the community. I think your future is bright. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Naledi and Eric, thank you so much for your time here today. And we're so excited that you're part of the Solve community as both a challenge ambassador and one of our newest Solver teams. Lots more ahead for both of you. And thank you for taking the time today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.